Sure.
All set.
All righty, we'll make this a nice short meeting because we don't have a lot on the agenda, just some few updates. So tonight, we're gonna start the Municipal Building Committee meeting of December, whatever it is, 15th, 2020, last one of our calendar year, call to order at 7:01. So with that being said, approval of the November 17th meeting minutes.
So moved.
Everybody got them? And a second on the, somebody said a motion?
Second. Yeah, okay.
All right, so all those in favor of the approving the November 17th, 2020 meeting minutes, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, so this evening, really what we have on the agenda are some short updates from Tecton, from Arcadis. O&G couldn't be with us tonight, so they've provided to Jack Butkus from Arcadis their update, but we'll open it up with Jeff. We won't steal your thunder, Jeff. This has been the culmination of a few long years, so I'll let you make your announcements.
Sure. I wasn't quite sure I was supposed to make announcements, but so we're out to bid after this long journey, which it's been about 2.5 years since we first started working on this, and it's very exciting. There's a walkthrough tomorrow, and I'll let Jack go over all the details as far as the submittals and when the bid phase is and the timing of all that. But we had some very successful meetings with OSCGNR, got their approval, I would say, quite quickly for this size of project. It went very smoothly. I think Eddie and team, along with Jack, responded very quickly to all their requests. So we're coming out to bid and very excited to see this thing get going on the construction. So we're looking forward to some good, hopefully tight bids, very aggressive bids considering the climate. So we'll see what happens. So.
Do we know what else is on the street at this time?
Jack may be able to fill in some of the other projects, but I do know there were a few projects that were out there and they just received bids and they seem to come in pretty good. There was another project that they saw some fluctuations, I think, in some of the different packages, like steel. Was something, I think there was some supply chain issues along the way, but I've heard, I guess, a mix. I've heard that some folks are really looking for work and then others that are out straight. So we'll see what happens, but I'm optimistic that with this size project, a very clean, brand new building, I think you'll attract a lot of bidders. So.
You guys have anything else on the street right now that's coming in earlier that would be a good litmus for maybe what we would project?
Yeah, a couple smaller projects that are out there that I can research where they are in the bid phase and when they're going to come in. Nothing this large that's out there right now for us anyway. We've been pricing quite a few projects with estimators, like going into CDs, and they've been taking off some of the escalation factors, and on some instances, and then on others, they've left them in. So, so I don't know. It's a very strange time. I think this is the first of my career where you have this kind of climate out there.
Yeah.
But I still remain optimistic that with a good set and a good sized project that you get some good bids in. So.
Yeah, we're optimistic as well.
Yeah.
Eddie, you have anything to add?
He's putting his bid in now. See, he's focused. Eddie, you're on mute. Do you have anything to add?
No, not really. I think it's been covered. We have first demo going out on Friday, and yeah, happy to be through OSCGR. We had a conditional approval. They were looking for 4 things to be taken care of, none of which would prevent us from going out to bid, but needed to be taken care of by the time we have we want to sign up subcontractors, and 2 of those 4 are already in hand, and the other 2 we expect shortly. So working through ONG documents, generating some questions, which we're buttoning up to make sure that we have a tight bid set. But yeah, that's about where we are.
All right, and then how about the high school locker room project?
Yeah, the high school locker room project, we are looking at trying to kick that off essentially after the first of the year. We understand school's out until the 15th, so it gives us a good week or 2 to be able to get on site. And we talked about doing a tour to try and get everybody up to speed with what the existing conditions are, and what the new scope of work would look like, and how we might want to adjust what we've been designing to date to accommodate it.
So we're going to utilize those 2 weeks when school's out to do a lot of our existing condition survey. You guys
Correct.
have full run of the school. We don't have to worry about timing. So that
Exactly.
would work on both of our parts.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, great. We look forward to it.
Great. Thank
anything
you.
else from your side, Eddie, Jeff?
I don't have anything, no.
We'll
Thank
move
you.
on to Mr. Butkus. Jack?
Good evening. As Jeff and Eddie reported, we did get through the plan review process. I won't say in record time, but definitely in a more expedient process than it could have been. I think we were all pleasantly relieved that it was it was within a week and a half or so from start to finish, including the letter that said, "Hey, you can go out to bid even though there are a few things dangling." So the Emergency Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, DEMIS state agency, reviewed the district's school security and safety plan, which had been in limbo for many months with all the distractions that they've had with COVID. So Dr. Burrill worked diligently with them to try to prod them along. We did get some help from some others within OSCGR who kind of fan the flames for us in order to get it on the reviewers' front burner. And once that happened, it went through rather quickly. And we also received the code mod. So it's a couple of other, we got the deep flood management certification and the State Traffic Commission in front of us, but neither of which should take as long as bidding, evaluating the bids, and getting ready to award. So I don't think either of those will be an impediment at all. We did have some discussions about the bid process and how we would handle the off-site work. We explained to the state that we don't know where the alternate or replacement fields are going to be located in order to have provided them with the design at the same time that we were doing the design of the building. So we actually added a phase to the project by saying that we'll have an off-site improvements phase that will come before them for review. The intent would be if we can get decent bids, perhaps the existing contractors can participate in that, but we'll also have to open it as a separate phase of construction. We'll have to open it up to the street, and perhaps we'll get even sharper pencils when the time comes for the development of the fields, the demolition of the portables at Wisconneer. And we also included the off-site improvements just in front of the school with the road widening into that scope as well. So that helped expedite the process and gives us time to to do a decent job of designing these fields once the alternate location is identified. So with that behind us, I'll kind of segue into O&G's report.
Mm-hmm.
We have with us tonight Gus Cotate, who you may remember from the interviews. Gus is going to be our on-site project manager. So Gus is representing the firm tonight. Dave and Laurel got pulled away to a corporate meeting that they couldn't step out of, so they send their apologies. But to summarize the O&G report for the month, we are in the midst of the bid process. Requests for information have been flowing in, and the design team has been timely in getting responses out there as well. The proposed due date for bids is presently January 7th at 2 p.m. We do expect that there could be an extension for some, if not most, of the packages, depending on the level RFIs and the timeliness of the RFIs. One of the benefits of getting on the street when we did is we are in fact processing questions now before the holidays. So hopefully we've grabbed everyone's attention and we'll keep their attention so that we can maintain as close to a January 7th date for everything coming in as possible. Through a memo or email that went out to the members, there is a link that you can get access to the bid set. Right now we expect the primary trade contracts such as site work and concrete to be released before the rest of the package, hopefully early February. And that as soon as the weather breaks, that we'll be able to hit the ground running in the spring. As I mentioned, we do have those conditions on our approval letter that we can't sign contracts until we get those now remaining 2 items out of the state.
Right.
But the responsible folks, I think both of these end up falling into the orbit of Malone and McBroom, so they will be maintaining contact with the state agencies in order to bring those over the finish line as well.
All right, great. Gus, welcome. You have anything to add?
Thank you, and good evening, folks. Excited to be part of the team here. This is my third consecutive Tecton public school building, so very excited here, and my second one with Arcadis. Both projects that I've been on with those folks have been very, very successful, and we had a great partnership with the building committees over in Colchester and Oxford. So looking forward to having the same type of relationship here, and hopefully it will be a home run for all of us. So very excited. We hit the ground. We are already up to 24 pre-bid RFIs. Very good questions are coming in. It's helping us refine the details. So good stuff happening, and looking forward to opening the bids right after the new year or towards the third week in January.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And again, welcome.
Nice to meet you all.
You as well.
One
right,
detail I'd like to add. There may have been some miscommunication going around through town. There is a meeting tomorrow, 10 a.m., a pre-bid meeting, which will be both a virtual meeting and on site. It's meant to be an information session for the contractors, and it may have been advertised inadvertently as though it was some sort of y'all come and hear about the project type of meeting to invite the community, which was not the intent. This is a nuts and bolts meeting for the contractors. And Laurel expects to have pretty good attendance of demolition and abatement contractors on site, and the balance of the contractors, essentially the balance will be virtual. But we will have Eagle Environmental on site to do a walkthrough with the demo and abatement folks as part of that effort tomorrow. So again, there may have been a little bit of misinformation or misunderstanding about what that event was going to be, but hope that clears it up.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, we know, but the general public doesn't know that anything said to any contractor could be construed as misinformation and be, could disqualify a bid, could disqualify the entire bidding process. So it's very important that the only people that say anything to the bidders goes through O&G. And O&G is the funnel. Tecton doesn't even talk directly with the bidders, and neither does Arcadis. It's only O&G, and we just have to, be clear in our communications in the future that this is the hierarchy for communication here from this point forward. All right. So, anything else from Tecton, Arcadis, or O&G?
Not right now.
All right. Hearing none, let's move on. Communications, Catherine. Any communications?
No.
All right. Invoices.
Invoices. We have got invoices.
Of course you do.
If I may share my screen, I will pop that up there. All right, is my screen visible? Or are we caught in a technology loop again?
See you.
Are we there? Okay.
There it is.
There are a couple of items that have been added to the agenda since it was distributed for your review. Those are noted with asterisks in the upper portion here. We had commissioning invoice from Colliers and the monthly pre-construction services invoice from O&G that arrived after the original document was put forward.
Yeah, point of information, that wasn't added to the agenda. It was added to your document for invoices. Just want to make that point of information.
Right. So we have additional testing services that were done by Eagle Environmental. We have an incremental bill from Colliers for commissioning services, review of the documents. We have Arcadis's monthly invoice. We have a progress invoice for architectural services from Tecton. And we have the monthly pre-construction services invoice for O&G, all of which fit within the value of existing purchase orders and previous commitments. So per the process that you took last month, we could handle them as a block, or we can discuss them in detail one by one as you wish.
What's the committee's desire on this? How do you want to handle them?
Seeing how they're all part of initial contracts and within those contracts, I personally have no problem doing it as a block.
I agree with Josh. No, I don't have a problem with that. Same here.
All right, well then, I don't take any objection to that, so somebody make a motion then.
So now we can deny them all at once.
Yeah, as long as you read them off individually and that motion for, denial is there.
All right, so I'll make the motion, approve Eagle Environmental's invoice for $4,540, Colliers International's invoice for $2,880, for Arcadis's invoice of $20,000, Tecton Architects invoice for $187,421, and O&G Industries invoice for $15,384.62.
In a total amount of
In a total
230
amount of $230,225 and 62 cents.
All right. Can I get a second? That's from Rob. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Jack, do you have anything else as it comes to invoices?
Yes, well, not as invoices. We do have one purchase order increase to Arcadis in the amount of $13,000. That was so that we could take care of the threshold review. That's for buildings over a certain size or certain features within the building code. You need an independent structural engineer to review. So we put that through at zero markup through us, so that it did not need to become a full-blown public solicitation by the town. We did solicit 3 prices, and this was the most competitive price. So we ask that you approve an increase to our purchase order in the amount of $13,000, so we can come back next month with a bill.
All right, and just so everybody knows, there was a vehicle within Arcadis's contract to provide additional services such as these in the interest of expediency and normal course of action for projects of this size and scope. This is the vehicle that was used here, and that's the reason for the purchase order increase amount.
And Jack, to clarify, we carried many of these costs within our initial proposals and in soft costs for all those estimates, correct?
Correct. This this type of services was budgeted within the overall project budget, so it is not something that's going to hit the bottom line. But this was just a more expedient vehicle to award the services. And again, it was competitive, and this was the best cost.
All right, can I get a motion?
So I'll make a motion for the PCO for $13,000 increase for the review services as under Arcadis's umbrella.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carried. All right. Anybody have anything on new business? So Jack, I guess you can finish sharing your screen.
All righty. Let me find that button. There we go.
All right. So any new business, any questions on the process that's here? Anything on the high school locker room? All right, hearing none. Public comment? Going once?
I'd just like to, while they're here, thank design team and Arcadis and everybody else, ONG, for getting us to this point. It's been an adventure, been a road that we went down through various turns and bumps, but we got here. So thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, so our next regularly scheduled meeting is January 19th. I'm anticipating hopefully we'll have bids received by then. Is that correct, Gus?
Yep, that would be reasonable by then. I
Okay.
think so, you know.
I mean, it doesn't mean that we would have a GMP set, but at least we would be able to, you know, have some sense of where the project standing may be financially at that juncture.
Right now, I think the bids are due right after the new year,
Right.
around January 7th, but I anticipate that being delayed by a couple of weeks. So, you know, if not on the week of the 19th.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised by the amount of RFIs that have come in already. I think that's a good sign. People are
That is a
looking
good
at it.
sign. Yeah.
Instead of waiting till the week before bids are due to look at it. But, you know, it's very promising right now, and we're hopeful.
Absolutely.
All right, so hopefully we'll have more information January 19th where we stand with the way of finances on this project. In absence of that, wish everybody a Merry Christmas, as merry as it can be this year, and Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. You know, whatever we can do this year, it's strange in the least, but hopefully it'll be over soon. Anybody else have anything else from the NBC?
Just happy holidays to everybody, and thank you for all the hard work. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, if we hear none, no other business to be had, we hereby adjourn December's board meeting.
Well, this is one of the best meetings you've had.
Yeah.
One of the quickest? No, we've had quicker than this. Come on.
Yes, we did, but nobody showed up for them.
Well, that's true. That's very.
Details.
That's
Merry
right.
Christmas, everybody.
Thank
Merry
you all.
Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
night.
Have a
everyone.
great evening.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas,
Bye-bye.
everyone.